Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by E. Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your girl, Miss Connie, coming to you every Wednesday at 5 p.m., discussing the levels of intimacy. What's your naked truth? Stay tuned in to stay turned on. See you at 5.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
You're listening to Miss Connie from Levels of Intimacy, The Naked Truth at Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio. And it is once again Wig Off Wednesday. But I'm showing up in here 5-headed and all. Oh, and I forgot the light. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Levels of Intimacy, The Naked Truth. I am your girl, Miss Connie. Yes, this is another hairstyle for the week. What's going on, everyone? Come on in here for our very PG show, okay? Yes, we had to turn down a little bit of the nonsense. Okay, we got to give it to Black History Month. This is our month, and we are not to be played with. Understand, we will not be canceled. Okay, everyone, let's come on in here. You've seen that I've been dropping gems here weekly. I always like to let you know what's going on, who I have in the house, what we're going to discuss. And you know what? After all this love, at the end of the day gonna end, okay? And what I do know is at the end of the day, when the day ends, you better have the proper paperwork in order. And when I talk about the proper paperwork, I'm talking about agreements, consent forms, restriction orders. I'm talking about foster care, adoption, prenuptial agreement. I'm talking about insurance, life, death, beneficiaries. But guess what? I'm just going to tip the iceberg because I got a real gem in here who going to let us know how to love them and how to leave them. Okay, let's welcome my guest into the home. I'm not going to even take up a lot of time because it's a lot for us to discuss. Welcome in, Kamara Nolia.
Thank you. I am super happy to be here. You are hilarious.
No, you know, I'm so excited to have you in here. And you and I have a history. How long has it been? Like 3 years?
3-4 years.
Yeah.
Like 2021 or
yeah, right when I opened up
21-ish.
Intimacy events, you were a part of an event thrown by the DeVille. Shout out to the DeVilles. Well, shout out to Marquetta.
She has another.
She does have a
coming.
wealth mindset coming up. So she did drop that gem in my inbox. Unfortunately, I will not be here because I'm going to be on vacation. Yes, I am being intentional. That is my word of the year. Intentional about my time, my energy, okay? And my space and places. but back off of me, back onto you. But yes, that's where we met. It was an instant connection. I was so drawn to your story. And when I met you, you were doing credit repair.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Right. And you gave a whole testimony about that. And then as I've moved about in the black business world of Las Vegas, here you come again. We meet up at the insurance. You was like, hey, Connie, I got a free ticket to an insurance event, and I think you be the one. And I never forget going to that event at 9:30 in the morning in that concert with LL Cool J in the MGM Arena. That concert was so lit. I was like, I didn't even know.
And it was all insurance people. We were just living it up.
Living it up. And what was the group?
PHP.
I know PHP, but the couple.
Oh,
because I ended up getting insurance through them. The group that we were in.
Yes.
Okay, so
it's
them.
The Cobbs.
The Cobbs, yeah. Shout out to the Cobbs, yeah. So because I end up trying to get into the insurance game, and before you get in the insurance, you have to be able to be insured. Mm-hmm. So that was that, and I was like, wow, that to me, you know. Because I'm not a gatekeeper, and that's what I like about both of us. Neither of us are gatekeepers. We are constantly meeting everywhere. Then I saw you again at the Nevada Grow thing, and now here you are moving out and about, and I'm constantly letting people know that if there is something to be notarized, to contact you. So without further ado, just kind of just give an intro yourself, you know, let the audience know who you are, how they can find you, and yeah.
Okay.
The business of the business.
Yes. So, hey, everyone. I am Kamara Magnolia Bowen. I am a electronic notary here in Nevada, as well as a mobile notary. Basically, if you need documents that need to be notarized, I am your girl, especially when you have things to do and you don't have time to be able to reach me, you know, get there. I'm the one that you want to, you know, come to. And as well as my notarizations, I also do life insurance, as Connie mentioned. And we set you up to get your legacy secured, you know, because we are not as prepared as we really think we are.
Yeah.
And you can find me on all the social medias at Maggie B, not just a notary. Maggie B, not just a notary.
Okay, spell that out for us.
It's MAGGIE B, not NOTA, just JUST. Notary. NOTARY.
Maggie B, not just a notary.
It's a mouthful.
Okay.
But I was going by Maggie B Notary for a while, but then when I added more services to me, I wanted to kind of expand on that, but still kind of keep the name similar. Okay. And then I was just like, you know what? I don't want to be known just as a notary. Okay. I have more to handle, you know, more opportunities and services to be able to, you know.
Because I don't even think you were doing notary when I met you.
I was.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what are your steps? Like, what are your levels to the business of the business? So what was notary first, or was
notary was first?
Okay.
That was my breakout entrepreneur. I was working at Smith's at the time.
Right.
And somehow I got on YouTube and it was talking about notarizations and all this other stuff. And I was like, at that time, with being a single mom, I'm like, I need to be able to find income and be on my own terms. So notarizations basically was something I was like, oh, I could do that with my kids. And plus I was homeschooling them at that time. So it was like, hey, let's get in it. So it was just definitely one of those things. So notarizations was definitely first.
Okay. So notary was first. How did you even get into, well, you say you saw the YouTube video, but was there something that you needed? Like, was there a personal need, or literally was just, that's funny because that's how I got with Bedroom Candy. I saw something online like YouTube and I was like, I could do that. And it's like everything else plus. Okay, so that's the journey. So what was next after that?
So when I decided to become a notary, the business at that time, COVID was getting ready to happen, so it was slow. And while it was being slow, I'm like, oh, what can I do now to bring money into my business? So then I got into credit repair, And I started that as, a business, and I studied and went through the classes and everything. And that was like my next step. And that was hard for me because just trying to get a lot of clients, some of us don't want to get our stuff together. At that time, it was like, I'd rather get a CPN or something than to fix my credit, so it just became a little bit harder. And I delved into life insurance after that. And then it's been pretty gold since then.
Okay. So Maggie B, not just a notary. What are all of your, what is not just a notary?
Okay. Well, before, because I was like a serial entrepreneur, right? Because you have these opportunities and you're like, okay, I have to hurry up and try to make some ends meet, So I do have it in my back pocket. I do have my taxes. For a long time, I was able to do taxes, the business loans and credit loans, stuff like that. Business loans and credit loans and stuff like that. And then for a long time, I stopped doing that and began doing like the loan signings and stuff. Oh. So I have loan signing, remote online notarizations, the electronic portion, and then now I focus more on the IULs and annuities of life insurance.
Okay, so that's good information to know. And it was so funny because as much as you are into, there's a lot to add. Because I think when I saw you at the Nevada Grow, I introduced you to the other female that had the funeral business. Yes. And I was like, listen, you and her should work together. And you was like, well, I never even thought about that, Connie. What was it? Estate planning. Estate planning, right. And I talked to my girlfriend Kathy about that all the time because she owns a lot of land in the cemetery. And it was like so crazy because she was like, they wanted to buy her plot. And I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, I own all these plots in the cemetery. She was like, I'm getting ready to put us in the mausoleum. I'm like, wow, and it's so crazy because you're never too old to know. And you can't, one thing about us, we have to not be so prideful when we don't know things. Because I was like, wow, I never even really thought about real estate, like selling plots in funeral home. You know what I'm saying? Funeral plot. Well, you do it at the funeral home, but she's a realtor, and was
I've never heard of anything. So.
Right. So me and her had discussed estate planning. So then that's when I thought about you. We're like, okay, well, you got to have a notary, to have all these different dynamics going on in life and in death. Yeah. Okay. So you are still a serial entrepreneur. I don't know why you say you were.
I know. I just try not to delve too far out of it and just kind of keep it somewhat in the mix of at least notarizations, life insurance, and then estate planning, because I do run across a lot of those documents. Yeah, I do run around a lot of those documents. So I started, because I ran across them so many times, I started learning a little bit more about it. And, that way I can kind of gear the client into what they really need.
Okay. So where are you originally from?
Brooklyn. BK all day.
Okay.
BK all day.
How long you been in Vegas?
20 years.
Okay, me too.
20 years.
So what brought you to Vegas?
Wanting something different, when you grow up in a hood and you see what you see, you're just like, what, I'm going to go ahead and explore. I might as well. And I took the opportunity that I had, left my dad's house, and been out here ever since.
Okay. And how many children do you have?
I have 2
wonderful
children.
Because I heard you mention about homeschooling and working and having these multiple businesses. How do you see as a parent your parenting as far as how you were parented with your children,
Absolutely. There is definitely, I always tell people this, my childhood trauma showed up this way in my parenting. I became more kind of helicopter mom a little bit, and knowing that I wanted to gear my kids into being able to know who they were. So, teaching the emotional social learning was a key thing. I wanted my kids to have that confidence. Hey, I know who I am. I'm not going to be easily influenced by my friends or be thirsty for friends. Really honestly just be who they are, So that's why it was like, that's why I was always just like, I need to plant that seed because I didn't have that growing up. I was a kid of foster care, a child of, my mom being incarcerated. So I didn't get a chance to like really know who I was at a young age. So that showed up in my parenting that I was like, I got to make sure that I protect my children and keep them knowing who they are.
See, yeah, see, and that's kind of the root of it. And even with me kind of doing a little bit of research just on like notary and who would need how, when, where, what, that was one of the things I thought about, not even knowing that was a part of your story, but that foster care, adoption, that residential custody, these agreements, like that paperwork is so important when you are dealing with children, So do you do a lot of paperwork, just coming from your childhood? Have you dealt with anything from your childhood as far as someone, in the child and foster care, like?
Not yet. I have dealt, kind of, sort of, because I've had, there's these student residential affidavits that have to get signed. So it's basically when the school is wanting to show proof that you live in this home, and you have to have that the homeowner sign and then the parents sign. So in times like that,
that's not residential custody. What is that paper?
No,
Say that paperwork
that
again.
one is called a student residential affidavit. So it's just to prove to the school that you live at this address and this is why you're going to this school.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Oh.
But I only see stuff like that, or sometimes when it is like a 6-month guardianship, but I never really get too far into people's stories and stuff. But I do see like, okay, they had to move, their parent died, so now their sister's taking custody of them, and she's going to be the guardian, things like that. And then I've had same-sex couples, I had one at the hospital. They had to sign a agreement as like a parental, something that their lawyer docked up, and I just came and notarized it for them, basically saying that the other parent is the other parent for that child.
Oh, okay. So off the cusp, I have a client who actually has come into a young child. Okay, both of the parents are addicted to something other than parenting. This child was literally in like some sloth type environment, and a neighbor was like, hey, somebody needs to come and get this baby. And so, I mean, he is just as cute. Oh, Lord, he looked like a Disney character. So my client has been taking care of this baby. And I'm like, hey, you need to get some proper paperwork.
Yes.
But the parents don't want the baby, but they want the money. So they never look for this baby until it's recertification time or something, when I think that they must have an ongoing case or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, how does she protect herself? She investing in this little baby. And I'm like, you have to turn the parents in. Yeah. I don't even know. I was like, whoa, I know a lot, but I don't. And she's like loving this little baby. Like it's probably been about 9 months, and he's only like 3. I mean, so cute. The mother is like a raging addict. The father he does provide a home, but he is a almost non-function, not like he's an addict too. The baby is just a crazy environment, like one of these houses where people in and out. And I'm just, she has an appointment with me this week. And I'm like, what do we do to protect, like, so you don't even know, huh?
That for sure. I would say get with an attorney, a family law attorney that would actually know more about that. I would, from just what I've seen so far, because I've known people who just go through the 6-month guardianship here in Nevada. So you have to get that form. And the only thing with that is that one of the parents have to sign off on it.
And neither one of them are. And then I don't think the guardian angel that's showing up, I don't think she want them all in her business. Mm-hmm. So it's like if we talk, we lose. Yeah. You know?
Because the baby can end up going into
the baby is definitely going into the system. Yeah. You know, because she has no relationship to this child.
Well, at least, okay, so out here, say if she decides to start homeschooling that child, it's not until the child is 7 years old that she needs to put this kid in school or show that she is homeschooling this child and she has legal rights to that child. So for right now, she can pause, you know, but she still has to be able to take the baby to the doctor and
That's
stuff like that.
Because I think he got sick a little bit, and I'm like, you don't know anything about him. You know, when you go get the parents, if the parents show up, they definitely calling CPS in the emergency room. So I don't know. Well, I tried, girl. I'm not gonna say your name, but
definitely research, and then look up, like.
And
just
if
look
anybody,
at different forms and stuff.
If anybody understands the situation, a part of CPS, just know somebody that had the same type of situation, please drop a little bit of information in the line. The phones are also open, 702-551-5261. If you have any questions for myself or my guest. But yeah, this is definitely a topic because now let's just talk about relationship-wise. Mm-hmm. You know, I think like I have a few friends who they do these major investments with the boyfriend and girlfriend. Mm. And I'm like, even my friend like, well, let's do this. And I was like, well, no, we need no, because you get on my nerve now. So sometimes when money and stuff get involved, it gets real. It's real. Yeah.
It can change people so bad, especially when you're coming from a crab in a barrel type of energy. People get crazy when it's time.
Yes, you're investing in these properties. And then one of my girls, she going through something. They were business partners buying up all these properties. And now one person was taking money out of the funds, and you thought that you were able to do something, and nowhere there was no agreement. So what is it that they needed from Maggie B, not just the notary? You know, when you going in, what is that information to give to, of course.
That would just be a regular contract that they could, you know, they can have a contract doctored up and everything, drafted up.
Google Docs.
You know, templates. Google Docs, e-forms, and all those things. You can bring those templates and customize it to what you really need. You can always go on some of those templates and get ideas of what, I didn't even think about that. We could probably put this in a clause, you know, so things like that. I always tell clients to just have those things ready. So sometimes when clients do come to me, I end up just referring them to certain websites. That way they can just go and look. Because me, technically, as a notary, I'm not a paralegal. Mm-hmm. I'm not a attorney. So I cannot be practicing law.
Okay.
Right? So it's called unlawful practice something, right? But it's in our NRS, right? Okay. But I just tell them to go on those documents and be able to just look it up and everything, and they can always just do templates. And I love researching things for people too. And I do know some notaries that are legal document preparers.
Okay.
So they do understand some of these documents that come through. So, I mean, I can always connect them to people.
Definitely give her your information in because, yeah, it's I can see that it's a good deed is going to go left. I can see it already, you know, like this is getting ready to be pulling on some heartstrings because, yeah, logistically this isn't working. But anywho, Scoop, one thing about being a mom of, how old are your children?
9. I have a boy that's 9 and a daughter that's 10. About to be 11 soon.
Okay. So being a mother, coming out of the system and understanding how that works, but really, you know, going in this thing blind like most of us moms do. Some of us have a little bit of something to fall back on. What is it that you feel your children are able to communicate, or where do you think as a culture where are we missing the mark? Because why are we still barbecuing for burials? Enough folks and died to know we need insurance.
Because there's so many false beliefs out there with the myths, with the insurance that people don't even. There's so many. They're like, you're jinxing yourself. They think like superstitiously, like if you start talking about life insurance, that you're gonna die next week. Type of stuff.
Listen,
but it's just like you have to be prepared.
And listen, that's real.
They feel like you're just throwing it in the air.
My grandmother, rest in peace, Irene Johnson, miss you so much. She told my uncle on a Thursday, he was in a domestic violence situation. She said, "What you better do is take your DA, okay, and go get some insurance before that crazy lady kill you, so your kids will have something." And he didn't listen to much. Thank you. Was it Xavier Jones? She said she helped me so much. Yeah, Xavier. He listened to my grandmother. When I tell you my uncle was dead literally 7 days later, the girl and her son killed my uncle. He got the policy that weekend. The policy had literally went into effect maybe 4 days before they murdered him. Okay?
Did they know that he had a policy coming out?
Girl, that we didn't get time.
That is
wild. It started because she was stealing his money because he was somewhat of an addict, but he had a job. He worked for the electric company, and so he would, instead of him taking his checks and picking them up himself, he had her sign for them so he wouldn't blow the money,
Okay.
But once he started to clean himself up, he needed to, I think this 1 week he was like, "Listen, I didn't do drugs. Like, I can handle my own money." But she had already went and got the money, and he was like, "Give me my money." And she was like, "No." And when I called her, because some kind of way they always call me, and I said, "Brenda, give my uncle his money," and I was like, "Girl, like, come on." And she was like, "Listen, take the narrative of your uncle out. This is what this woman told me. This is what you said, Brenda. If you had a man who worked all week and had brought home a $2,000 check and did drugs, and you could take his check and give him $40 a week, what would you do?" And I was like, "What?" And it was just like, "Girl," and she was just like, "Yeah, like, so what is your uncle? Like, he kind of like, I'm working him pretty much." And my uncle wanted his money. They were arguing. Her son was on wet.
Oh,
okay. He came in the house. She was screaming and hollering because she didn't want to give him the money. The son put my uncle in a chokehold. She beat him in the head with a cooking board. Girls, in the paper, they killed him. The cop said when they came, the boy was so high, he broke my uncle's neck. Choking. Never went to jail because they ganged up and said it was a domestic violent situation. My uncle had all kind of character witnesses. Never had been in a fight. He was a pretty boy who just got caught up, out here playing around the streets. They did not arrest that boy. Do you know that boy killed his girlfriend and the baby like 2 years later, drug her down the steps? I mean, viciously. And I just was like, it was crazy. But literally my grandmother told him, and that was the one thing that got my cousin started, because they were like maybe 17, 18 years old. So they were like at the, at that point where you really, kind of need a nice little nutshell to get yourself started in life, but, and somebody else said that yesterday because I was having a conversation, because I'm always asking my clients, do you have insurance on your child's father? And girl, he don't want to give me insurance because he think I'm trying to kill him. Okay, well, tell him you put it on me and I put it on you. Because ultimately, if one of us goes, this is a single parent child here. So I don't understand what's going on with this. You scared to die.
I think it's the realization that messes people up. Like, oh man, I could possibly be gone, even though we know that that's what life is all about. We live and we die. That is the cycle.
Right.
But people, they get it in their heads, so they're just always so kind of anti it, And sometimes I've heard some people say to me like, "Oh no, like insurance companies, they're scams." So some of them don't even. But I'm like, you haven't even done your research. You haven't even done your research. Like at least if you're going to have that type of view, delve into it and really find out, because a lot of them do pay out. A lot of them feel like, oh, well, I didn't get a chance to you wasn't qualified to be able to get life insurance. Doesn't mean that it's a scam. It's a business. At the end of the day, they want to know that they can be able to get their money and be able to pay out, that you're not a high risk. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, they have so many different beliefs out there. I just figured, do your research, people. Yeah. Stop listening to one person say something and now that is your narrative.
I just say this, who gonna bury you? If I was an agent, that would be my line. Who gonna bury you?
Exactly.
How you want to die? Okay? Because I've been doing funerals for over 20 plus years, hair and makeup. I have seen all type of horrific things going on in funeral homes, like how they handle bodies, real talk. So, at this point, how do you want to die? Nobody's investing in insurance. Nobody's paying for plots. We got all these conversations, but what is the preparation? Are you doing your due diligence? If you don't want to give your child's mother or your son's father the information, make sure you got it for yourself.
At least, and have stuff in place. There's ways to just have at least a letter of intent. You can even put something like that in place, or even having a trust or a will, or something in writing saying, hey, give this money or give this to, or allocate, so that way the state doesn't have to do that for you.
And man, because once they in there, they set to win.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want the state to have to, or the government to just have to step in for stuff that you need to have your children being able to get, or your kid's father or mother being able to get,
Right. So as far as you in your business, how vested are you in that for your children? What do you have set up, like as a single parent, and what do you suggest other single parents have, in order?
So I have life insurance policies on both of my kids as well as myself.
Just one policy, whole term.
I have 2 whole policies.
Okay.
On myself, I have a whole policy on myself and a term policy on myself. So my whole policy, it's my IUL. So that one is accumulated, so that way I can be able to get more cash value.
Exactly.
And then my term, doesn't get any cash value. However, my term does have living benefits.
Okay.
So the living benefits is what really you need, because people think like life insurance is only when you die. But what we have in place with living benefits, you can use that, say, if you're in a hospital, you can pull out of that term policy. You can pull out of that policy to be able to pay for your, life benefits and stuff. And then I also have my will, of course, with my kids. So that way they can be able to get my family. I don't want my family when I die that they're going to be grumbling and trying to figure out what is for my kids. So I make sure that in my will that I have exactly what I want my kids to be able to have. I wish they were a lot older, so then I could really because you got to be over 18. So I have my sister in place as the beneficiary to see these things to go through when it's time. But IUL, I'm gonna probably, when I get a little bit older, do an IUL. I'm already building their credit and things like that. Okay. So just having them as an authorized user on my credit card. So I'm building their credit now. But it's just being able to have, I want what I'm building right now, my legacy, to be able to go straight to them and not have to get figured out with the state or somebody who don't know me.
Okay. So having all that paperwork in order, it sounds nice, but are they prepared? Like if I were to ask one of your children what to do, would they be able to tell me?
My daughter knows a little bit.
What's your daughter's name?
Ayana.
Yeah. Let's bring her on the camera. We have her in here. I'm here to test you.
Yes. Let's see if she knows what mommy wants.
Hey, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So you've been sitting here all this time. I want to welcome Ayana to the show and on camera here. This is the baby serial entrepreneur, because I know, being a grandmother and having my grandbaby around, she knows pretty much everything I know, or, what the business of my business is. So without your mom speaking for her, who is your mother to you?
She's like my best friend, and like she understands me, and she's everything to me.
I love that. Okay. I love that. Beautiful. Okay. So as far as you're only 10 years old now?
Yeah.
And you are definitely suited up like you in business over here. So what are your dreams and aspirations as an adult? Do you think that you'll follow in your mom's footsteps? Like, watching your mother be in business for herself, how is that motivating you?
I feel like I want to do her business, but I also have something else I want to do too.
Okay.
I want to be a veterinarian.
I love that. So why do you want to be a veterinarian?
Because I love animals, and I'm like an animal person.
Okay.
And I love helping out.
Okay, I love that. So do you have any animals?
I used to. Her name was Kiara.
Oh, what happened?
She's with my stepfamily right now.
Oh, okay. I was hoping she was still with us. Okay. Wait, but let's pause on that. So as a veterinarian, will you push pet insurance?
A little bit.
Are you into pet insurance?
I have not delved in pet insurance, but I'm always researching. So that's something that I'm...
Anybody with a pet, we have pet insurance. Because pet, listen.
Oh, yeah.
You one bone away from either giving up on the dog in life.
Exactly.
Or definitely giving your vacation money up.
So, because it's kind of like renter's insurance, and like just when times you need it, but that's just with insurance, period. Like when times you need it, it needs to be able to work for you.
Tap into pet insurance.
I am.
Yeah. That's I'm always giving you ideas here. Tap into that. Seriously. Okay. So back to you, baby. So do you have any knowledge about the notary and the insurance business just from working with your mom and watching her work?
Not really with the insurance, but a little bit with the notary.
Okay, so what do you know about the notary business?
I know that my mom's mobile. She's a mobile notary. She's like online, and she goes to the places sometimes too.
Right, to work. You just see her out here working. So
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Okay. We in the streets. We in the streets.
Right. Okay. I get that. So watching her work, do you see yourself being more, because you said a veterinarian, and I always wonder this, do children, do you look at your mom as a boss or an employee?
A boss.
That's right. So are you setting yourself up to be a boss or an employee?
A boss.
Okay. There was no hesitation on that. Okay. And so you're in what grade now? Fifth grade? Okay. And so what school are you? No, don't say your school. That's too much information. That. Yeah. Oh, she already knows.
She already know.
Okay. What you already know, girl?
Not to tell anybody what school I go to.
I know that. Why?
Because some people might try to come into my school and pretend like they know me and stuff.
Right. Okay. So this is Black History Month. Do you have any information you want to share or anything that you learned about the history of us this month?
Not really, because they keep on teaching me the same stuff.
What about Maya Angelou?
Oh, yeah.
What did you...
I know a lot of stuff about her.
Oh, what do you know about Maya?
She was an American poet, civil rights activist. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually your mom is Black History. Okay. We all out here are Black History right now. We are setting the paths.
But really, my goal is to be like the youngest veterinarian.
Okay.
So I wanted to do college online classes while I'm in high school and stuff.
Okay. So are you researching what schools you're going to be going to?
Yeah.
So where do you have a desire?
The first school I thought about going to for like college, it was like Tuskegee University.
Listen, honey, yes. I have a friend whose daughter goes to Tuskegee. Tuskegee, I wanted my son to go to Tuskegee. He ended up going to Alabama State. And yes, but Tuskegee is a very, very, very good school. So listen, it's a whole school tour. So make sure, I'm not sure who does it here. I know back where I'm from, Tuskegee is a part of the college program, like that tour.
Yeah.
And even though she's young, and I just said, we need to do a tour of like, they go to the colleges, but we need to start going to like classics. Like a lot of, my grandbaby, I meant to take her last year, but I'm definitely going to take her this year to a classic, just so they could see that historically black college mega
Conglomerate.
Man, it's like crazy.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe. Yes. It's so crazy. So shout out to you. You know, I'm very, very, very proud of you that you even could answer these questions and how clear you are and how poised you are. So I see nothing but success for you. And definitely you are paving your way to be a boss. Okay, because this room only deal with bosses.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Look, her name is Ayana Iris Marie, and I did that on purpose because it's AIM, and that is what I named my business, AIM Solutions, because I aim to be her model, her greatness. Like, you're my legacy. I aim to just be that person to help you.
You did it successfully.
Thank you, baby.
Period.
Thank you, baby.
I was just going to say, do you feel any pressure?
No.
Okay. Is there
Not
anything
at all.
you just want to share? Is there anything you want to pour into your mother right now? Just watching her and just being in this moment right now. We have all of these listeners. We have all of these people watching. Is there anything that you want to convey to your mom right now?
I want to say to her that I appreciate that all the things that she have done for me, and I'm really proud of her, and I hope to be like her someday.
Oh my goodness!
Don't be in here like
That
that.
show is so sweet.
That's my
It's
baby.
levels of intimacy.
I love you, girl.
Yes, it is. Yes, I love you too, girl. I think everybody love you. Let's give this baby some hearts. Yes. Okay. So, okay. Was that it, girl? Is there anything else you want to share?
No.
Because you let me know, because this is your moment too. I'm so glad that we even agreed to bring you on set, you know, with your mom, because this was kind of like a last minute thing. But I always tell people, that's one thing about me. You don't have to leave your children with me, you know, unless you don't want to hear them cuss. I'm just joking.
We don't want that.
No.
They're going to get the naked truth. All it.
Listen, Linda, okay? I am the black grandma. You have trained her so well. She speaks wisdom. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, she does speak very eloquently. So, guys, as we wrap up the show, is there anything that you want to say, hey, you know, we don't have time to waste?
For one, if you even have are in a commonwealth marriage, if you have a partner, do not wait to the last minute. You don't have any rights when it comes to, it doesn't matter how long you've been with that person. Get something in writing, a POA in writing. Always make sure that you do it before you happen to get incapacitated, which basically means when you don't have the capacity to be able to make your own decisions. Hurry up and do that, because when you do it, when it's like the last minute, that could even be in question, because now you're signing in duress. So be in a sound mind and get at least a POA, a will, something in writing saying that I want this partner of mine to be able to take, you know, all of my funds or whatever, you know, because it's what you build and then what you're leaving behind. But you want to make sure that it goes to the right place and not let the courts and stuff decide that. You won't have any rights.
Yeah, and I think just to wrap it up, it's like you don't have as much time as you think you do.
Yep.
I know literally as I sit and I have all these different businesses, especially behind that chair, I hear so much
I have so many clients that have been widowed and who are separated for 20 plus years. Mm-hmm. Like one of my clients, I know her daughter is 33. Her father just died. They never got a divorce. He's been literally with the woman that he left her with for 30 years. Him and this lady been together. Do you know that lady did not get anything? He still had his pension, his life insurance, everything in my client's name. She got a letter with a whole inheritance, and it's like, should she give the woman, this woman has nothing. So literally she can't even afford to be in a house. And I think we learned this even with James Brown. Yep. I think that was like a crazy thing too, with when he died and not having that paperwork in order and not women. Listen, okay, don't have the life. Don't be the wife if you don't have a life. However that saying go. Don't be the life without the wife. I don't know how it goes, but I'm telling you something. If you're over there dealing with a level of nonsense, stop asking folks for their Zodiac and ask for the insurance information, or if you could be the beneficiary so you can cash out when this foolishness is over with.
Exactly.
Because, and all that moving in, either leave it or keep a receipt, okay? Because everybody fighting about a dog and a couch. So I'm almost saying at this end of the day, Maggie B, not just a notary, you need to have templates. Yeah. Instead of sending us to other places, you need to have on your site, if you are in a common law relationship, okay, and you have assets together, how would you like that? Click the link for the form, you know? Hey, Terrell, click the link for the form so that at the end, it won't be the end. Yeah. And you'll be able to pay a bill afterwards while you grieve.
Yep. And even like just putting a person on as a payable on, like even open an account that's called a payable on demand, payable on death type of account. Have somebody as a beneficiary so that way they can be able to at least get your funds out of the banks and stuff, or transfer on. It's a TOD or a POD. Get those accounts, at least have that. So then you can already get that money instead of waiting for probate, or, you're never going to get that money from that partner. So you even have that on a person's account.
And if you a baby mama or baby daddy, get some insurance. So the child, get a 529. I always encourage these young people to have these children, get a 529. Oh, yes. So you don't have to be struggling with these children when they're ready to go to school. But definitely get some insurance policies, get some contracts, get some sense, okay? Because there's levels out here to this nonsense. But as we wrap it up, we only got 1 minute to go. If you are looking for the information, all of your social media is
Maggie B, not just a notary. Sorry. Maggie B, not just a notary. And then you can also reach me on my website at www.maggieb.com. Okay. MaggieB.com.
Okay. And I definitely want to thank you too, gorgeous, for coming on to the show and sharing all of that love and light. I am your girl, Miss Connie. This is Levels of Intimacy, the Naked Truth. It is Black History Month. We will not be canceled. Have a great evening. It's your girl, Miss Connie, coming to you every Wednesday at 5 p.m., discussing the levels of intimacy. What's your naked truth? Stay tuned in to stay turned on. See you at 5.